Alright, I'm about 133 days alcohol free and 133 days cannabis free. I'm also over 2 years nicotine free. But yesterday I made a video that I quit Kratom. I have not quit Kratom. Kratom is a herbal drink that is a herbal leaf that, at least in Thailand, comes in the form of a brewed tea. For some it acts as a stimulant, but for me it acts as a sedation tool. That's why I like it. Because I've always been someone who's liked sedatives more than I've liked uppers. I've never really gotten into uppers. The amount of times that I've tried cocaine, MDMA, is probably only a handful of times. I can probably count the amount of times on one hand, because I never really liked the effects of anything that gave me more energy. I always liked feeling sedated. That's why I had a problem with alcohol. That's why I've had a problem with benzodiazepines, especially Xanax in the past. This is just my Barocca water. I always make sure to stay hydrated in these hot situations, especially in this climate which I'm in right now in Southeast Asia, Thailand. It is very hot and humid, so I like to make sure that I have adequate hydration in my body. But I would like to talk about sobriety, because although I've accomplished all these other things, I'm not fully detoxed. I'm still drinking Kratom. I'm going to wean myself off of Kratom, so I'm only going to drink small bottles, as you see. If you saw the New Year's video, I had 15 of these 1 liter bottles. I have 1 liter bottles now, but I'm only going to limit myself to 1 cup a day, so 200 milliliters a day, and I'm going to measure them out. I have a protein shaker, and I'm going to wean myself off. But I wanted to talk to you guys more about that, because I haven't been truthfully honest with you. When I went to Vietnam, I got a lot of prescription drugs from the pharmacy. I got a lot of benzodiazepines, and I got a lot of Valium, which is diazepine, and I got a lot of adversaries, which is Xanax. And I've been abusing and using both of those. I used to have a big problem with mixing Xanax with alcohol, but now, since I no longer drink, I don't use it for those occasions. I mainly wanted the Valium, the diazepam, because I watched another vlogger get it at a pharmacy.
50,000 is 10 Valium, 10 diazepam. Now I really need them for my flight.
Vietnam, to calm me down. And at first I got 5 milligrams of Zepam, so 5 milligrams of diazepam. And the first night I took it, I was under so much stress because I was traveling every single day that I was in Vietnam. I was traveling to a new city besides 3 nights in Da Nang. And I was traveling by bus, I was traveling by train. Some of the buses broke down. That didn't bother me at the time, fortunately. But I started abusing these prescription drugs, or these pharmaceutical drugs that I got at the pharmacy without prescription. Now, generally, if you want pharmaceutical drugs such as diazepam, which is Valium, or alprazolam, which is Xanax, you need to go to a doctor and get a prescription. Although in Vietnam, there's lots of pharmacies where you can get one without a prescription. And I want to say that I bought hundreds of these pills, both the diazepam, which is Valium, and both the alprazolam, which is Xanax, because they are dirt cheap over there. It's ridiculous how cheap they are over there. And in some of my Vietnam vlogs, I put them in and how much each price was, but I decided to cut it out because I wanted to showcase a different side of myself. I wanted to augment a picture, and not augment, but I wanted to paint a picture of myself that wasn't truly real. That's why I'm here today talking about sobriety, saying that I'm not fully sober. I've been using Kratom, which is this energy drink, and I've been using both Valium and both Xanax, especially while editing my vlogs, because I've been in a really bad mental state, and by me self-medicating, it's just made everything worse. I haven't been hitting the gym on a regular basis. There was a point in time where I went for some nights, but after being groped by that lady boy in Thailand on the walk back, I really stopped going consistently. Now I moved to a more quiet place to focus on bettering my mental health and to start hitting the gym again on a more consistent, regular pace. But what that's made me realize is that I miss the city life. I hate rural Thailand and I hate the quiet place. I love the city life where it's hustle and bustle and everything's more nearby, and where there's high-end shopping malls, where there's more not even nightlife, but where there's more people and it's more hustle and bustle, because it makes you feel more alive. And I miss the parks. I miss visiting my favorite parks in Bangkok, which are Banchakiti, Lumpini, Suan Lang, Rama, which is Rama the Ninth Park, but that's a little bit further away. And I miss visiting Banchasiri Park. There are parks I used to do daily walks on to clear my head. But since I live now in Samrong, because I wanted to clear my head over here and have a more quiet atmosphere, it would take me around 30 minutes or 40 minutes on the SkyTrain to get just there. So it'd take over an hour to get there and back. And I'm someone who suffers from social anxiety, and right now the SkyTrain has been super busy and super packed. So I have not been... There's a kid crying, so I think I'm gonna record somewhere else. The purpose of this video was to say that I'm not perfect. And at one point, I've been talking with my mother a lot about this. She said that I should maybe come back home and that would be the best for me. But in terms of personal growth, these problems wouldn't really help if I went home. These are issues that I need to deal with myself if I'm in order to become a man. And I need to truly seek out a therapist and talk about my medication usage and my medication usage with her, especially when it comes to Valium and Xanax, because I truly believe Valium helps me if it's in the right dosage. Right now I only have 10 milligram diazepam left, so I only have 10 milligram Valiums left, and that is way too strong for me. It makes me feel way too drowsy, and I can't break them up properly without one of those like sharp pill cutters. And I know in the clinic that I usually visit, they do offer Valium as well, but they offer it in the form of 2.5 milligrams and 5 milligrams. And I think 2.5 milligrams would be perfect for me, because in Vietnam I used 5 milligrams and I had this like feel-good euphoric feeling. But I don't want to use drugs or rely on drugs to have this feel-good or euphoric feeling, because that's what really leads to addiction. I just want to use something on the short term to overcome my social anxiety so that I can get my life in order and put myself in a place where I can function in a social setting and I can make friends and not be afraid to talk to people and not have not feel like I'm gonna have these panic attacks if I'm in these crowded places. And that's really the message of this video. I've made strides in my sobriety progress, and I don't think I'll ever be drinking or smoking cannabis again. Although when I made that Christmas Eve video a few days ago and I was in Koh San Road, both drinking Kratom and using a lot of Xanax, I was abusing it that night. That's why I felt so tired. I was really considering smoking cannabis or visiting one of the cannabis shops over there. And luckily, cannabis here in Thailand is so expensive that it just crossed my mind that it's not worth it. And I really feel like I've cemented my sobriety in terms of not drinking alcohol and not consuming cannabis anymore. But I have other issues to get through now, like my usage of Kratom and my usage of diazepam, which is Valium, and my use of alprazolam, which is Xanax. Those are the two things that I need to cut out of my life, especially the Xanax, because it really doesn't make me feel good at all. It makes me feel drowsy, and I don't like the person I've become when I'm on Xanax. I feel a little bit more aggressive when I'm on Xanax. Diazepam, which is Valium, on the other hand, I feel a lot more calm, I feel a lot more euphoric, I feel a lot more happy. But the dosage that I'm using right now is abusive. It's not recreational. And even though I've broken up some of the 10 milligram pills, it's hard for me to break them up into proper quarters to get the right amount. So I think the next steps going forward is to schedule a appointment with the clinic that I'm affiliated with over here in Thailand and a doctor that I know, and get some blood work done, see where my blood markers are, because I have not been living the healthiest lifestyle, and then have a discussion what would be the best option going forward, if medication on the short term would be the best option going forward. Because like I said, I do want to live in Thailand for a longer extended period of time. I do want to join a Thai language school and get an education visa, and I do want to eventually start Muay Thai, but I can't really do those things right now because of my social anxiety. Like, I really have bad social anxiety, believe it or not. And every time I make these vlogs, every time I'm outside, I always get so socially drained. Social anxiety is something that I've suffered from a very young age, especially in my teenage years, and I have been clinically diagnosed with anxiety and social anxiety. That's why I have been prescribed benzodiazepines in the past. And during that time, during my teenage years when I was prescribed Xanax, they were really, it was a nightmare scenario. Now, since I'm older and more mature, I can handle myself better, but that doesn't negate the fact that I've been abusing medication. So I just wanted to make this video saying that I'm still sober from alcohol now for over 133 days. I'm still sober from cannabis for over 133 days. Actually 2 months free from sex, so I'm celibate. Over 43 days from masturbation, but this is probably due to me abusing these other medications such as Xanax and Valium, because it really lowers my libido and sex drive, and that's not healthy for a young man such as myself, which is 27 years old. I want to get my life together, and I eventually want to get a girlfriend, and I eventually want to get a social life. But in order for me to do that, I need to become a man and take the right steps so that I can move forward. And I've been talking about seeing a therapist, I've been talking about seeing a doctor, but I haven't been taking any action on that. And like I said, all talk, no action, that's not going to get you anywhere. If you want to get anywhere in life, you have to take action. So the first step for me next year is going to be to schedule an appointment at a clinic and see what the best option going forward is. And like I said, I want to use Valium on a short term, so anywhere between 4 weeks to maybe a few months on a 2.5 milligram dosage to overcome my social anxiety and to put myself in these social situations so that I can feel calm and stress-free. And I want to have a medicated, professionalized overview of everything so that I don't fall victim to abuse. And that's all I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to just be truthful and honest because after my hard drive broke in Vietnam, I've been mentally going through it. But at the end of the day, there's so much more to life than just videos and memories. Like, who cares? Who cares that I lost hundreds of memories in Vietnam and in the Philippines and lost hundreds of hours of footage? I'm so much more blessed and I'm so much more privileged than some people in this world. And going to the Philippines, going to Vietnam, visiting these third world countries has really made me realize how privileged of a life I feel. And not everything's about me. So I need to get rid of this ego that I feel and say, oh, it's about me, 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 me. Because life's bigger than me, and at the end of the day, through my experiences, eventually I want to help as many people as I can. So before I can do that, I need to fix myself and I need to love myself. And eventually I want to find someone else and that I can love as well. But as the saying goes, you can't truly love someone else until you love yourself. So I just wanted to leave you guys with the message of be the best version of yourself that you can be. Just try to be a better version of yourself than you were the day before. And one day at a time is all it takes. And be honest with yourself as well, no matter what. If you're struggling, always reach out for help. Because in one video said, I am lonely in Bangkok and I have no friends. But friendship is a two-way street. There have been some friends that reached out to me on Instagram, but right now I've deleted the app, so I have no way of contacting them. But friendship is a two-way street. They reached out, and when they reached out through messages, I didn't reply because I was kind of ashamed of my life and kind of ashamed of what I've accomplished compared to what they've accomplished. And I've always had this comparison complex where I compare myself to a lot of people. That's why social media is not a healthy place for me to be. And mentally, right now, after deleting all my social media, I'm in a much better place. So I'll keep you guys updated with these videos, but I think it's important for me to be truthful. And going forward, I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'm not going to abuse Kratom, and I'm not going to abuse Xanax and Valium once my medication has run out. And like I said, next year, and in the beginning of next year, I'm going to schedule an appointment with my clinician to talk about some of my problems, see if she has a therapist that she can recommend for me, and then see what prescription would be the best to deal with my anxiety, especially my social anxiety for a short term going forward. And I truly believe that Thailand is the place for me and I can become the man that I want over here. It's just going to take a lot of work and I just need to get my shit together. This is truly far away from my rock bottom that I've been at when I was at my worst. And now going forward, I think it's just important that I'm honest with myself and honest with my problems, honest with you guys, so that I can hold myself accountable and share my story, because it's not always easy. And I have relapsed before in the past with cannabis and alcohol, but I haven't really relapsed with Xanax before that much. Every time I've relapsed with Xanax, I've always ended up drinking. But this time I feel like I have that under control. And I mainly use Xanax to sleep these days, but it is highly addictive and I don't want to go through the withdrawals that I'm eventually going to go through if I keep on using it. So with that being said, just stay safe out there. If you struggle with addiction, honestly seek professional help, because that is the best way to go about this. If you're addicted to any substance, it's really tough to do it without a proper support group, and that includes physicians, and that includes medical doctors that are trained professionals that know how to deal with this and what the best course of action is. So if you're someone who's against therapy like me, maybe just adopt a growth mindset and go in it with an open mind and see how your life changes because of that. And that being said, not every therapist is going to be that great. So sometimes you have to go on a search for different therapists to see which one you vibe with and see which one works for you. But I'm going to start practicing my mindfulness habits of reading again and meditating again, because I've just been abusing way too much Xanax. I've been abusing way too much Valium and because of that, my mental health has suffered even more when I could have done, and I could have taken the actions and the steps to improve where I'm at right now. It's also because I'm spending the holidays alone that I'm feeling a little bit down, and I have no friends or social circle around me. But going into the future, I know I'm going to find the right people, and the universe is going to put the right people into my life, because that's what I'm going to manifest, and I'm going to work towards that. It's just going to take some time, and patience and virtue is a godsend. Just remember to be patient at the end of the day, because it's easy to say do this or do that, but everything takes time at the end of the night, and nothing changes overnight. So be patient, remember to do the work. Every action you take, every decision you make is a vote for your future self. So remember and ask yourself, who do you want to be at the end of the day? And that's it for this video. I just want to say stay blessed, everybody, and remember to become the best version of yourselves. Stop sleeping on yourself, because we all have the power to become the individuals we want. And I'm sorry if I let anyone else down, but at the end of the day, I have let myself down the most by abusing these pharmaceutical drugs that I got without a prescription. So I'm still sober from other substances, but I don't want to create more issues in my life. And this is like taking one step forward, but 2 steps back in a way. At the end of the day, I wish you nothing but the best wishes. I wish you positive energy and love. So catch you guys next time. Your boy Mitra out. Peace.
Or baby, serve that daily. Have a little look here, son, get wavy. Need some food, hanging out crazy. Same tracksuits, I'm hanging out daily. Come out, look at the smell. Leaving the crib, but you'll be